Hey everybody, if you watched my last video where you saw me do my Archer Olive haul unboxing of 6 new notebooks, you will know that I said I'm going to be setting up this A5 Chrysanthemum notebook as my September planner. This is from their Forest Findings Fall 2025 release. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm a little bit nervous too, and the reason why is because I have not really, well, I haven't been using a bullet journal as a planner, and so this is going to be kind of my baby steps back into using a bullet journal. I have been using my A5 rings binder as well as the common planner for different things. Maybe next week I'll do a sort of flip through of my current setup and then how I'll be switching over to this for September. I have already gone through and I've kind of put sticky notes to sort of indicate what I want to use these first few pages for. I'm not going to be setting up all of this right now because I think it would be too long of a video, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of see how long it takes me to get the month. So right here, I want to do this September month layout, and that's going to go across 2 pages. And then I will set up the first week on this page, and we'll kind of see where we are for time, and maybe just kind of end the video there. And then if I do a flip through for next week or a plan with me for that first week of September, by then I'll have the rest of it set up and you can kind of see the whole thing there. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to do kind of a decorative page here on the front, just September 2025. But again, I'm not going to do that right now, mostly because I can't really decide what I want to have here. I'm really not a super artistic person, and I think I'm going to keep this pretty functional and minimal, mostly because this is, a learning experience for me. I'm going to kind of see what works, what do I want to use, what is, not really going to kind of work for me. And we're going to play it by ear. I'll probably use some of the washi from, this is the Chrysanthemum washi tape set from Archer Olive. So I'll incorporate maybe a little bit of that in here today, but I don't want to go too crazy because I'm not, 100% sure what I want it to look like. And I imagine that this is going to kind of evolve as the month goes on. So let me just grab this ruler and let's go ahead and get this month laid out. Okay, so you can see that I have at least the basic setup for the month. And now I just kind of need to decide what I want to do for the header up here with regards to just September. I have these, this little like stamp set. So I could do that, or I could just handwrite it, or maybe I'll use one of my stencils and make kind of like a frame for it, and then just write write in the word September. Now, I have no hand lettering skills. And so if you are like me and you've always been like a little bit intimidated because, you know, some people just have the most beautiful artistic ability when it comes to setting up their planners. And I'm not one of them, but I don't let it deter me, and it shouldn't deter you. I think I'm going to use that one. From doing it, you can still, you know, just do either like just simple things, or you can also just use stencils. They're your friends, or stamp kits. Other people use stickers, of course, obviously. I'm not a huge fan of stickers. It doesn't mean I'll never use them. I have thought about printing out some stickers. So this is always the tricky part for me, is keeping it, one, getting it lined up straight, and two, keeping it steady, because these are kind of flimsy. These stencils are just from Amazon, enough to get it so it doesn't get messed up. I have thought about printing out just some headers so that I have them. And you can do all kinds of different font and some beautiful script. I have not done that though, so I don't have any ready for this. And that's okay. We're going to use a stencil here. And I'll just write in some very basic script the month header up here. There we go. Nothing too complex or complicated. So I'm going to use this section over here just for sort of priorities for the month. I don't know that I need to necessarily label that. I might just kind of leave it blank. And then the other thing I want to decide is, I don't know if I'm going to use this space for anything functional, or maybe just like use it to highlight one of the beautiful washi tapes they have for the month. I feel like I'm kind of drawn to this one up here, and then maybe we'll just kind of do a simple, run this one along the bottom. We'll just keep it very simple. Simple and pretty. Let me get it lined up, and then I'll cut it off. Maybe we'll do it up here. The washi tape for this collection is really beautiful. Just kind of put that up there. Nothing too much. And then maybe we'll run this one along the bottom here. Okay, now I might go back in and just kind of take a colored pencil and color in maybe just the little flag parts of this. But I think for right now, I'm going to call this month layout good. Mostly just pretty functional, keeping it not too complicated, not too much going on. And let's move on to that weekly spread. So my plan is to be, I kind of had thought this through. I think it helps, especially having never done this before, to kind of go through and pre-plan, obviously, how you're going to use these pages, particularly when you're turning a notebook into a planner. So I envision this will be, just because I need kind of a filler page here, I'll turn this into a quote page. And then this will begin my sort of weekly layouts. And so this is going to be like my task week this week. And I have 7 different domains that I like to sort of keep an eye on. And so this is actually born out of something I use here in my 3-ring binder, my 3-ring planner. I developed this page here where I have these different domains: writing, publishing, marketing, admin and business, finance, house, family, personal health, and travel. Now, of course, there's 8 here, and I just, for this particular planner, I'm not going to have the travel one on here, just the other 7. And so this is going to have a list of what I, under those domains, and not every week do I have something that I want to get done that week under those, but this will be the kind of, you know, what needs to happen in the following week in those different areas. And so here is where I will begin my first weekly spread. So then that way it's like, this will be what has to get done, and then this will be kind of my plan for the week. So let's go ahead and set up this first week. So these will be the days of the weeks, and I like a Sunday start. So this will be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, another section over here. But up in the corner over here, I want to create 2 little trackers. Now I will have a sort of larger habit tracker on a separate page, but these are 2 things that are sort of my most important activities that I want to make sure are happening every week. So we're going to go ahead and put those up here. So they are front and center, and I'm thinking of them every day when I'm opening my planner. Okay, that could be a little straighter, but that's okay. I'll do a better job on the next week. So now this part might take a little bit of time. I will probably just speed up the camera. And the reason why is because whereas these little blocks of letters are fun, it can take a little while to set up each of the words. So it'll probably end up a big mess with these little stamps all over the place, but I might as well just get started. Okay, so you can see what a huge mess that makes with those little stamps. I think obviously what would be a better idea, and I'll do this when I set up the other weeks, is that I will do all of this part first, getting like just the layout set up. And then what I'll do is I'll go through and stamp each week, Sunday, 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 Monday, 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 Tuesday, Tuesday, like in that way. And so then that way I'm not taking these apart and putting them together for each day of the week like that. So anyway, there's that part, and I'll just go ahead now and date it. And then this up here is gonna be for tracking my writing each day. And the second one is for tracking my exercise every day. So. And I do have other habits that I track, but these are just kind of the two big ones that I've sort of determined that, you know, for me to sort of be moving towards living the life that I want to live, these are the two things that I need to really kind of focus in on prioritize every week and make sure that I'm getting my writing done. I'm an author. If you're new here, welcome. I write domestic suspense novels, and my latest book, The Last Nanny, you can find the link in the description below. That's available. And then my new book is up for pre-order, and that title for that one is Her Name Was Lola, and that will be coming out January 27th. And so a lot of the planning that I do is to support my career as an author, as a writer. So we will see a lot of that throughout this planner as the month goes on, kind of thing. So, but these are the two things that I've sort of determined are my two biggest priorities every week, and I need to make sure that these are getting done as much as possible every single week. Now, the only sort of thing that I wonder is, so I had put over here my tasks for the week, because of course those are going to be in those 7 different domains. And then my only other thing is like, you know, sort of what do I want to use this section for over here, and what do I want to use this section for? So I had originally sort of thought I would use this as like a weekly review. So before I move on to the next week, I would kind of just do like a running log over here of a what worked and what needs work kind of thing based on what my plan for the week was. So let's go ahead and put that in here. And we'll label this what worked. And then, let's see, we'll make it even with this guy here. What needs work? And I guess I'll just kind of like consider this like the way to sort of keep myself accountable to the plans I made for myself. So did I follow through on the things that I had said I would get done this week? Did I get my daily writing done? Did I get, you know, hopefully daily workouts in? And then I have that review to use as I then go into the next day. So here I'm just going to kind of share with you what I'm still thinking about. What do I want to do here? Because I kind of already am listing my priorities on this page. So I'm gonna just think on that spot for a little bit. But then I want to have daily pages as well in this notebook. And of course there's plenty of pages in here that I can do that. So this is where my daily pages will start. And so of course this will be Sunday, Monday. And then I just did kind of a rough outline of how I'm gonna lay this out. And again, it's just gonna be sort of really simple at the top. I'll say what day, what day of the week is it? And then I'll probably have a schedule going down like the left side here for any like appointments. And then this side will be sort of open for me to be able to plan out my day, or what did I actually do? What did I get accomplished? And so there will be 7 daily pages. And then of course this will be the week 2 spread right here. So while I consider like what to sort of do with this little section right here, let's go ahead and set up a daily page. So I didn't have anything kind of planned out for this. That's okay, because I think it's pretty simple. I just need maybe a very thin column down here that's just going to be sort of a timetable, and I don't even think I'll need, that whole section. So let's go ahead and let's get this set up. So I don't know if I'm thrilled with that. This is why you just don't do stuff, right, without having a little bit of a plan. So luckily it's just one. Actually, well, no, I guess I could rip it out because I haven't done the other stuff yet. But, I don't like how that turned out. I'm just going to white it out and then do something else. I'm not sure what, but I'm not happy with it. I do think I need some better whiteout too. But I do know I want this to be sort of just my like running schedule over here. So that much I do know. And I can get up pretty early. I'm also a flight attendant. Sometimes I have really early morning check-ins. So I feel like I want the time to start at like 4 o'clock in the morning, because sometimes I will get up and write early too. But let's see how much space I have here. So I think I have plenty of room for that. So if we do, okay, so then just kind of a nice little like from 4 until midnight kind of high overview of what that could look like, sort of thing. So, and I think I'm gonna put, see, this is when washi tape can come in handy, huh? I think I'm gonna put, this is probably wide enough to cover that whole thing. I'm gonna put a piece of washi tape here, and I don't know if this is something I'll continue on the other daily pages, but I'm just gonna pop this right here like this. That covers up my mess. Put that right there. And then, what do I want? Because I sort of want this to be like the day of the week, and also sort of what my top 3 priorities are. So maybe if I just, don't worry about the, and I think this needs to be bigger because it didn't really quite cover up all that white, and I can see it, and it's bothering me a lot. So let's try this again. I'll do a little bit bigger. I think I need better whiteout. If you have a really good whiteout that you like, or correction tape that you like, that you think does a really good job, particularly in these Archer and Olive journals, please feel free to share that with me underneath. I did see a little trick where somebody was using a white gel pen to make small corrections, but the white gel pen that I have, it's just kind of a little cheapy one, and it did not work when I tried to use it for that. So if, again, you have a good one you like, let me know. So let me see, like just maybe day and priorities. Or would you just put the day, like Monday, September 1st? Maybe let's try that a couple times. Let's try that for a few days and kind of see how it works. So we'll just put Monday. Let's see. I kind of like that written out like that. And then maybe just priorities. And then I can list them underneath. So 1, 2, 3 lines for that. Let's do that. Everything's sloping a little bit. It's so tricky. I think that this is going to require some more thought. We're going to think this through a little bit more. But in the meantime, I'm just going to run this cute washi under along the bottom here. And we're just going to kind of call these daily pages a work in progress. And thankfully, I have 30 opportunities to try out different variations on what my daily page is going to look like. So, but here's the first one. And then this will just kind of be like an open notes area with regards to kind of some, it'll probably mostly be task lists, quite frankly. I'm a big list person, so, but I like it just kind of being open like that. So I like that one for September 2nd and so on, but I might kind of look for some more examples online, maybe on Pinterest for some daily layouts. But I definitely want the schedule, and I definitely want the sort of open space, and I kind of want to work on the top and the bottom a little bit. So anyway, I think that this is a good start. This has been already a much longer video than I had intended it to be, and I'm kind of ready to go for that first day. Anyway, the first week. I'm going to spend some time off camera now. I'm getting the rest of the dailies set up for this week after I do a little bit more research. And I'm going to kind of poke around and see like what are some things. And if you have any good ideas, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to know, like, you know, what do you think this would be? I don't really want to track any more sort of habits over here. But I'm going to maybe look for some good examples online. And maybe this just ends up being a decorative space, even though I wasn't going to do like a lot of decoration in this. But this is to get it started. Now, I think what I would like to do throughout the month of September, sorry, as dog hair, I have dogs, 3 of them, and their hair is everywhere all the time. But is I would love to do sort of like a weekly plan with me before, as I set up for like my next week. And so that will be, that's my intention. We'll say that. That'll be my intention moving forward. So I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to hear any comments or any sort of helpful hints that you have. You can see I've made maybe, I don't know how much of this is in the shot, but I've made a huge mess here. I will get this cleaned up, but I'm probably going to sit here and work on my September planner a little bit more. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I hope that you will like this one and subscribe if you'd like to kind of follow me along in my planning journey. I was happy to have you here, and have a great day.